So today we're going to do a fun episode. It's going to be a little more casual, and we're going to do a style watch and just talk about some trendy items right now and our opinions and maybe where they came from or anything that we may know about them. But first, let's start with current events. So our business current event is that there is an Oracle and TikTok deal. And so basically, according to the Wall Street Journal, Oracle will be TikTok's trusted partner, not acquirer. So a full sale isn't actually a part of the fine print. So basically, Oracle will be the company that will take over TikTok's US operations.
Yes, and our social justice current event is that on September 14th, 2020, a whistleblower who is a nurse at Irwin County Detention Center alleged that doctors at the center had been performing hysterectomies on unknowing and unwilling women, exposing further the discrimination and human rights violations in general that happen in ICE detention centers. Furthermore, our pop culture current event is that on September 14th, the New York Magazine published an article by Emily Ratajkowski titled Buying Myself Back, which is a very moving collection of 3 essays in which Emily Ratajkowski details different experiences that she's had while working in the modeling industry. She especially discussed an accusation of sexual assault against photographer Jonathan Leder and his expose of her own nude images. And to me, it was very interesting because she discusses the legality behind modeling and the fact that she never signed a release for those photos to be published by Jonathan Leder. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I saw a similar, I guess, controversy. It was like there was this blogger who basically it was like a streetwear, or it was a photo of her on the street, I think during a fashion week. And next thing you know, it was printed on shirts from Mango, like the clothing brand, like the fast fashion clothing brand. And she had no idea that it was being done. I think maybe the photos from the photographer were sold, but it was just strange. She was like, why is my face on t-shirts that are being sold across the world? Like, this is not okay.
So last week I signed one of my first photo release contracts in a casual setting because I just did a shoot to build out my portfolio. I've signed photo release contracts for commercials and things like that, but this was the first one where a photographer just was going to give me the photos and had me sign a photo release contract. He just mandated that if either of us is going to profit off of the photos, we have to inform the other party. So it was interesting because I had never thought of creating one of those contracts before, but after reading Emily Ratajkowski's piece, I think I definitely will.
Yeah. And finally, our last current event, our fashion current event, is about New York Fashion Week. So again, everything has been pushed online. There are no shows in person, and it's been interesting watching some of the fashion brands actually use celebrity guests who would have originally been wearing the fashion house's clothing or the designers wear or whatever it may be and sitting in the front row of the fashion show. But instead, now with these virtual fashion shows, these celebrity guests are some of the hosts for these shows.
All right. Well, now on to our style watch. So for our style watch episode, Sita and I have pre-selected 5 trends that we are going to discuss. And I think it will be interesting to see our thoughts. It'll be interesting to me to see Sita's thoughts.
Although we're critiquing these trends, it's not like we don't subscribe to them. So our first item is the iconic tennis skirt.
So what would you rate this trend out of 10?
Okay, honestly, my actual thoughts. Okay, I'll answer your question first, I guess. I would say a 7.
Okay.
How about you?
I would rate it probably a 6. I think it's kind of it's cute, and I myself have taken part in it, but I feel like it's been kind of done before, and it's also it sort of plays into infantilization, which is the flack that I got my first year when I bought tennis skirts with a few of my first year friends. and we were prosecuted by some members of an organization at Wellesley College because apparently we were playing into infantilization.
I forgot about that. Wow, what a time. I mean, my thoughts, like, I what you're saying on that, it's been done before. I totally agree with. It reminds me of like the Tumblr age, and
Mhm.
then American Apparel was a really big thing because I had bought my first tennis skirt from American Apparel,
Mm.
and they were known for having that very structured pleated design. You could get it in every single color, um, like all of their items. And now it's kind of interesting seeing that be the trend almost be revamped, because I feel like the whole tennis skirt trend started with more of the athletic skirts and then has moved back into that pleated, structured tennis skirt that was very iconic to American Apparel. And I was reading this article from Dazed. It's a digital magazine that's British, and they were actually talking about how they believe that the resurgence of the trend was due to the show Euphoria, which I think is an interesting tidbit because a lot of trends I feel like have been produced out of Euphoria or made very popular through it, and then that has only skyrocketed to become a really big trend on TikTok because I think anyone who's like a teen age will wear one of those, and then that demographic shops at stores like Brandy Melville where they're like ubiquitous in clothing items like a tennis skirt.
Good word, Otis. Did you take the GRE?
I did, and if anyone would like to study some vocab words, Magoosh's GRE vocab app is very helpful.
Hmm, true. I myself have used it as well. Yeah, I actually take back what I said about the 6 out of 10. I would say that I would rate it maybe a 7.5 because I think although there are claims that it plays into infantilization, I feel like people wear it because it makes them feel cute,
Yeah.
almost playing into that idea, but they just feel like very baby girl and like you want to wear pigtails and like you feel youthful.
Mhm. It is very much kind of bringing back 90s style, and I feel like the skirt itself, I don't know why I just have this image, but it reminds me of, like, the cheerleading outfits on Glee.
Yes, the
Like,
Cheerios.
everyone's, like, flouncing around, like, doing their thing, but it's cool to see how people style the skirts now. Like, I think it's interesting to see it with
Sweatshirt.
sweatshirts
Mhm.
and chunky shoes, and kind of have, like, a contrast in proportions, which I feel like may have not been the trend prior. Because I know in the Tumblr day and age when Brandy Melville was first kind of growing, it was very much the tennis skirt and a cropped a little tee or something like that,
Mhm.
which I definitely subscribed to at that age.
Really? I didn't really as a younger person, but I think more recently when I wore a tennis skirt, it was with a crop top. So maybe I'm just now doing that.
Mhm. It's interesting because I wore a tennis skirt at one of our society's events a
When?
couple years ago. And then someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, I like your skirt. It's so" what did they say? It's so it was like basically the comment was like, "Oh, it's so middle school of you, like really
Yeah.
bringing it back."
When Sita did it and it was youthful, then they called it cute. But when I did it, it was infantilization.
What can I say?
Well, yeah, I think it's cute. I myself do it. I like wearing little sporty things. When I wore the tennis skirt last week, I wore it with a crop top and then had what do you call it, crew socks,
Mm,
and then my Veja sneakers. So
mm,
I think it's more old school, the Tumblr days type. But I also think the sweatshirt, turtleneck, and then crew crew socks is cute too. Is that what it's called? Crew socks?
yeah, crew socks.
Okay.
I think well, I think there's two different tennis skirts, right? Like there's the structured one that I feel like you're talking about, and then there's also the
Oh
athletic
yeah.
one. And I feel like if you think about the pleated Nike white tennis skirt that was
More
everywhere
cheerleader-y.
for a while, sorry.
It's more cheerleader-y.
Yeah, is very cheerleadery, but I almost feel like it's another way that athleisure has kind of come into like the fashion realm and become a trend in a sense. Because I remember when that first came out, I think it was Bella Hadid who really popularized it. She was seen wearing it in France. This was a couple years ago uh, for Roland Garros, like the French Open. And so she wore it then, but then I think it took a year or so for it to become a trend item. And then it was another way for people to kind of have sporty but cute outfits
Mm.
summer.
All right. Shall we move on to our second trend?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Second trend, scarves as tops. Thoughts, Otis?
Scarves and tops. Okay, when this trend first came out, I was like, what are people doing?
Really? I thought it was so creative and cute and
I,
elegant.
I think elegant is not the word I would use, but I think it's creative for sure. I think it can be cute, but I also think it can be a little scandy at times.
Oh.
Yeah,
Otis is on the conservative side.
of dressing, of dressing.
Of dressing, yeah. Far left otherwise, people.
But I remember the first time that I saw a fashion brand really come out with it was Réalisation Par, which is a brand known for their silk dresses, and I think a couple of years ago, they were really popular for, like, the ruffle wrap dresses that were
Mhm.
literally everywhere, and there were so many dupes and copies of them, and they came out with this scarf top, and I think a lot of people prescribed to those because they were one of the cheaper items on their website, so
Mhm.
their clothing items are pretty expensive, like, you're looking at like closer to $200 maybe per item. And so this was closer to 90, I think. It was under or sub 100. And it was cool because you would be able to see people still be able to wear the prints that the company had created, but in a different way. So that's when I first saw scarf tops become a thing. And then I feel like it's become I don't know. I don't know really how I feel about it. It's not for me. I feel like also for like anyone who has a bigger chest area, I feel like you can't really actually wear a scarf as a top unless you're buying a scarf top. Like there are now tops that are made to look like scarf tops, you know.
And they have elastic at the top.
Sorry.
They have elastic at the top.
Yeah, yeah. Or even straps, some of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wore a scarf as a top a few weeks ago for a photo shoot because I knew that it was trending. So,
Have you
um,
didn't like it was actually really popular in the 90s. Like there's this iconic photo of Beyonce wearing a bandana as a top. Christina Aguilera wore some, and it's interesting because even back then it was seen as like, oh, this scandalous like thing, like
oh,
they're
yeah.
revamping an item, and especially for people who were pop singers, like it was just seen as like a cute, carefree, effortless type of thing. You just grabbed this and decided to wear it as a top, and it ended up looking good.
Mm. Yeah, I guess it's now reframed as elegant because it's like you said, you can take a luxury item that's pretty expensive and be able to repurpose it. And also, they're usually silk. People usually use silk scarves as tops. So I feel like it has that elegant flair to it.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. It's interesting. So Orson Iris, which is one of the brands that I brought up prior in a previous episode, I think I bought a couple items from them, but they are so expensive. I think you definitely are getting the quality, like that's what you're paying for. But they, in their fall drop, they came out with some scarf tops, which is so interesting. It's just plain silk, and one is just like black silk, and the other is like a camel color.
Just solid colors. I feel like what the part of the reason that makes it iconic is that it has silk patterns to it, like paisley or things like that. Like the Versace scarf, I feel like is very iconic in that way.
No, I agree completely. So then seeing kind of the promotional material for it, it just seems so plain.
Mm,
I don't really see the point in it.
yeah.
I also feel like scarf tops are really popular with college kids.
Yeah, because it's so easy to do. I mean, when I wore a scarf as a top a few weeks ago, I just pulled out one of my mom's old silk scarves and
Mhm.
just put it on as a top. I feel like it's also a cute game day fit.
I have a quick story. Once we were at a party and this friend of ours named Ella was not wearing
Oh, yeah.
clothing that was suitable for a party. So we decided to be creative, and this was in the winter time. I had a really big wool scarf, and we made her a scarf top.
Yeah, that was cute. It wasn't fashion in the usual triangular way. We just wrapped it around her, but it was so cute. She was like our little Christmas present.
She can pull off anything, so it looked great.
Right. All right. Third trend is the little halfway up pigtails, which I do really often because I enjoy feeling like an anime character.
Well, I feel like that's where the trend came from, and then I think a lot of musicians and artists have kind of
Mm.
adopted the trend and added it into their own little persona, whatever it may be.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I think in the 90s, it was like you do a halfway up pigtail at the top of your head on one side, and then that was the trend, like in Clueless. I don't know about Clueless, but maybe some other more 90s things, it was like this. But
Yeah.
now there's this like double, and it's not in the front of your head, it's in the back. So it's kind of like small horns in the back of your head. And yeah, I wonder who was an early adopter of this trend. I feel like it was anime.
Anime, and I feel like what's the name I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. The British girl band that Victoria Beckham was a part of.
Oh, Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. Definitely Spice Girls,
Um,
for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Would you wear it, Otis?
No.
I think you would look so cute, but you tend to go for more sophisticated looks.
See, the thing is, I'm not opposed to wearing it. I just don't like feeling like I'm a child.
Mm. I wear tennis skirts and little side halfway up ponytails, so I do.
I'm
But
getting old, Like I can't just run around like a kid anymore. Living my adult
Dr.
life.
Dandiker is in the building.
Exactly. Like imagine if your doctor came in and had pigtails and they weren't a pediatrician.
That reminds me of this episode of Grey's Anatomy where Meredith is going to meet Derek's mother, and then Christina tells her to wear a really high ponytail with a scrunchie to make her look really, really nice and youthful. And then Derek comes in and he's like, "Your ponytail is alarmingly high."
I think that's in season 2.
Yes, yes.
But yes. Do I think the trend is going to last very long? I don't know. Hair trends really come in and out. Like, do you remember when the waterfall braid was a thing?
Oh yeah, but that was in like eighth
That was like
grade.
2015.
How do you know the year?
Because I just remember like little tidbits like that.
Oh wow. Always
Yeah.
been in tune with fashion. I only got into it around 2016. That's
Uh,
why I didn't know who Nelly was until like sophomore year.
yeah. All right. Should we move to the next item?
Yes, side bangs. I think this was very, I don't want to say obviously, but probably populated by Bella Hadid.
Oh, I think so too. I think her face structure, right, is already so unique so that this hairstyle like really emphasized a lot of her features.
Hmm.
Especially because it was so sleek and I think it would have been that like ponytail style, where it was like the side bangs and ponytail, right?
Yeah, high ponytail. And then it wasn't even like you could see the hair tie. It was the hair was wrapped around it.
Yeah. Now, when I was in 6th grade, I had side bangs. I had
Really?
them for most of middle school, actually.
Oh wow. I did too in seventh grade, but it was because I got lice. So my mom chopped off all of my hair. I'm trying to see which one it was. Okay, it was for the VMAs, was Bella Hadid's look. And that's when she wore that dress that was it was two pieces. and it was meant to be, I think, like pretty close together, but she just let her stomach completely bare and made it a low waist
Mhm.
situation, and then she wore that look. And then it was also the same look that where the ponytail was curled inwards towards the head at the bottom.
Oh,
And
yes.
then I think,
Haley Baldwin did a similar thing at the Met Gala a year ago.
oh yes, for
Last year.
Alexander Wang.
I feel like I've also definitely seen Kendall Jenner wear it because when I think about style videos or like style inspiration videos on YouTube,
Mhm.
I think they are seen as the people who very much pioneered this side bang trend as of right now. As of,
Yeah, but I remember when Bella wore this look to the VMAs, and then a few days later, Kim K had the bob curled inwards, and then Kylie wore the same exact hairstyle and tagged Bella Hadid for it. And she wore that one to Travis Scott's Look Mom, I Can Fly premiere. Do you remember? And then I feel like those pictures are so iconic because she's wearing the white dress, and then Travis is there, and they brought Stormy on the carpet.
definitely a
Stormy!
very well publicized hairstyle. I think that's the way to put it.
Yeah. So Sita and I have both worn this hairstyle. So it's interesting because I feel like I would wear the scarves as a top and the halfway up pigtails. Maybe we would both wear tennis skirts and then we would both do the side bangs.
Yes, for sure. It's funny because in one of my Instagrams, I have the side bangs, and I don't actually have side bangs. I had longer, like curtain bangs, I guess, more recently, and then just shifted them over. And obviously, Bella Hadid's hairstyle was the inspiration. And as soon as I posted it, Kathryn texted me saying, "Love the Bella hair look," and I was like, "Wow, we're on the same wavelength here. You got it."
Yes, of course. Yeah, I and then I think it was even further popularized by WAP because in the WAP music video, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion have a really similar hairstyle, except instead of the swoopy ponytail, it's more like netted, I guess is the word. It was more of like a large bun at the top, but they had super side bangs that were sleeked. And so I requested that look for a photo shoot that I did for a jean campaign.
Ooh, why do you think it is popular? Like, why do you think people are
I think
prescribing?
because it looks so classy and it's
Yeah.
very reminiscent of maybe like the flapper era, 1920s.
The whole side bang look that Bella was specifically wearing, like, I've seen YouTube videos where you don't actually have to cut your hair to achieve the look.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't have side bangs at all, but they just like swoop it and then you can pin it up and have it dangle a little bit on the side.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's versatility in that sense.
Yeah, but I think when you think of flappers in the 1920s, they all have a very short bob that curls inward plus bangs. So
Mm,
I think it just looks very classy, but it also has that same youthful tone. And
mhm.
I think that's a thing with fashion that emerges amongst younger people. I think people usually tend to go for trends that make them feel even more youthful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. 'Cause what, Bella would have been 22, 21 at that
Mhm.
time that she wore it? Yeah, definitely. Alright, should we move on to our last item?
Yes, a big reveal because I think this is the most recently trending item. But sweater vests.
Okay, I don't think this is like a new trend by any means. Mostly because I was trying to get a sweater vest last year.
Really?
And yes, I was looking for a specific look in that I wanted it to almost look like it was a men's sweater vest. I wanted to be thick and chunky knit, maybe some design. There's a Prada one that just looks amazing. It's like a V neck and it's pretty oversized. But obviously, I am not willing to spend that much on a sweater vest. And I just couldn't find it. And then I know there's a store based in New York and they have a location in Paris called the Frankie Shop. And they had sweater vests with a turtleneck. So it would be a turtleneck and then it would almost be a boxy fit in the chest area.
Mhm.
And so you would kind of get like these loops where you would see most of your armpit, like the side of your body, basically. Like they'd be so it was meant to be layered, so that you would wear. So basically, like this big hole, right? And it was meant to be layered so you could wear like a thinner, more tight turtleneck or long sleeve or whatever you have. But now, why I've seen, I think, more of a trend. So there's this YouTuber that I subscribe to called Ruby Lynn. She recently moved to New York and she is known to be a thrifting queen. She started a Depop a while ago and basically would do these style bundles. So you would give her what your taste is, what size you are, and then she would go out and find a style bundle, and it would include a whole outfit, accessories, and some like 90s inspired candy or something. And she was also a big fan of sweater vests in the past. And I feel like when you wear a sweater vest and almost like cargo pants or painter pants, of those are the pants that I'm looking for, and Doc Martens or chunky sneakers, I feel like that's been a look that's really been
Mm.
popularized now in the younger generation. And I've definitely seen it on YouTube and TikTok. Well, I haven't seen it on TikTok, but I've seen YouTube videos about how people have been seeing it on TikTok.
Yeah, I agree. I think people like Emma Chamberlain populate those kind of trends that's more like schoolgirl vibes. The same thing is youthful. I think Emma Chamberlain style just is very kiddish in a good way, and I think that's why I like her style because mine is sort of similar in that way. I think so. It was funny because when Sita and I were planning out this episode, we couldn't think of a fifth trend, but then at the same time, we thought of sweater vests. So, what instigated the idea in your mind that made you think, oh, this is trending right now?
Yeah. Well, I've definitely seen it as soon as I know it's hit fast fashion, I know it's become a mainstream trend. So the
Mm.
fact that I see it at Zara, Mango, whatever it is, I definitely know that, okay, like we're gonna be seeing this everywhere very shortly. And I remember last year when I was looking at that Prada sweater vest, I couldn't find anything similar. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to go out and go thrifting or go really search for this item. And then maybe I'll come across something that's really meeting what this vision I have in my mind. But now you could really find it anywhere. And I was reading this Who What Wear article, and it was talking about fall trends that have, I guess, gained a lot more traction and attention recently. And sweater vests specifically, I think in the past week, it's gone up 133%.
Oh my
It's
god.
funny 'cause I don't think it's like, I mean, I just said this, but I don't think it's a new trend at all. Like, even if you look at past fashion weeks and the streetwear, you'll see people wearing sweater vests. But I think you're right, Catherine, in the sense that you didn't really see it be popularized specifically in the younger generation, excuse me, or demographic, the demograph. Like you wouldn't. I don't know. I really think it's TikTok and YouTubers that are really promoting thrifting because that also have made this item become more popular.
Hmm.
Because I see it in like two ways, right? Like there's kind of like the more sophisticated sweater vest that it's more modern. I think it's cut for a woman, and then I think there's like the other end of it where it either could be a men's sweater vest or it could be a vintage one that's just like slightly oversized or something that's kind of ugly. Like I feel like Emma Chamberlain really loves ugly clothes.
She always says that. She tries to brand herself that way.
Well, that could be a whole nother episode as a person and her style. But like I'm thinking of like an ugly sweater type of design that your grandmother would wear, and that's now popular on a sweater vest, you know.
Hmm.
But as for why else do I think it's a good topic is mostly because I would really like a sweater vest.
Yeah. I feel like I would wear it too. So the reason why it came to mind is because when we were thinking about trends, I saw it on Alicia Roddy's Instagram most recently. She posted in a sweater vest, and I know normally wouldn't notice it. Like I had liked the post and seen it previously, but I didn't register in my mind that it was a trend. But I think the reason that it registered suddenly when I was looking at it again is because last night I was watching an episode of Glee where Pillsbury is going through Will's stuff when he decides to make his big debut on Broadway. And she asked him if he should throw away this certain sweater vest that he owns because he has many, many sweater vests. And he says, "Oh, that one is special to me because it's the one that I met you in." And then they both decide to throw it out. But then the next day, he sees her at school wearing it over a collared shirt. And so then I think suddenly it registered in my mind, that Glee episode came to mind. And then when I saw Alicia Roddy's post, that Glee episode came into my mind. And then it made me think that Emma Pillsbury honestly pulled it off, and it made me want to also.
Who knows? Maybe you'll see a style video with us wearing sweater vests.
Yeah. I think whenever I see styles that are unconventional or could be considered a little odd, I take it as a challenge to style it on myself. So, yes, this is why styling is important to moi.
If anyone has seen a navy chunky sweater vest that's a little oversized, please let me know. I have a great outfit idea, but I just need a sweater vest to make it happen.
What would you wear under it though? Like a collared shirt or
I would
like
just wear it as a top. My vision is I want like a navy sweater vest that's sort of chunky and oversized. Like if it was like a men's one, I feel like that could work. And then I have these leather suede shorts that are a camel color. I
mm,
wear those, and then my Noto Leto shoes, which are at the moment my favorite shoes ever. They have like a block heel, and they're chunky, and they're like Mary Janes, and I think it would be really cute.
like Mary Jane's.
Okay,
Yeah,
it is
sounds cute.
very like definitely schoolgirl vibes, but make it fashion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
I think it's
thinking.
a good versatile item going from the end of summer to fall,
Mm,
then even entering winter, because I feel like it'll be something that you could wear in all seasons. Or not all seasons, but fall, winter.
yeah, I was trying to think of unique ways to style it, and I was like, maybe mesh, but no, mesh and a sweater vest would be a no.
Hmm.
Do you think so? Maybe if it was the right colors, maybe a black sweater vest with black mesh.
Yeah, and then if you were wearing black painter pants or a
Mm,
painter pant like thing, because I know there are some that have prints on them, like that way you could add in more color. I feel like it could work. Or even if you were wearing a geometric type of sweater vest.
yeah, with red. I'm thinking black with red diamonds, then red tennis skirt, maybe
Oh,
red
could
and
work.
black sneakers, and then a black turtleneck mesh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
good
Christmas
idea.
outfit.
Yeah.
Well, I have loved this conversation. As per usual, I learn a lot from these convos with Otis. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yes, let us know what your thoughts are. Again, please subscribe and comment on all of our social medias. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
Yeah. And
whatever,
TikTok.
and TikTok, whatever your preferred platform is. We do read everything and take everything into account. So if you'd like to start a discussion with us on anything that we brought up, that would be great. If you would like to see specific topics discussed, that would be great. If you don't like certain things, we're all ears. We want to hear it all.
Yes, you can find us at linktr.ee/statement piece. And that's all for now, folks. Do 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 do.